Yep, championship lives at stake for these teams. If they want to have any hopes of coming back and staving off the end of their season for Everest and Hyperion, these two supremely talented teams, well, they need to make magic happen right here. No more chances. It all comes down to this. So welcome back to the stream, everybody. I'm Palador here on VRML 3. We've got a full crew as well on Channel 2 and Venues. Rockin' and rollin'. Got JG modding in the background for me and having a good old time we are. Mosh, though, over on that pass. That was a really slick one and a quick one at that. But Martin III gets the grab, trying to look for a leech, but gets stunned in the process. We'll open up maybe a 3, but no, another stun and another 3 opening up. You can see how little time. Wow, what an angle from Bad Elmo. Just in time. Gonna say how little time these players have to work with on every single one of these catches. But how about that? That was not a very easy shot from Elmo. Kind of a tough angle, low momentum, defense starting to approach, and had to use like that full wingspan just to clear that goalpost. So a combination of tough factors for Bad Elmo, and yet they got the first goal. Way to do it. So Leonardo here on the approach, sending it over, but Steffo the overtake. See Alpha Wolf in there cheering on Hyperion and seeing if this shot is on for Everest. And no, it won't be because the defense never rests. It's Smart Raz with the grab and the clear, saving the day and maybe even opening things up for a shot angle. But Smart Raz actually getting stunned by that speedy stat coming in from Everest. Now, I'm not sure how Everest is feeling at the moment or not, based off that last match they had earlier on versus Smash Dash that I had casted, but certainly speaking, they were looking very, very good despite the loss. That said, looking great is Hyperion. How about that? Another save, another grab just right above the goal that time as the players were coming in. Always admirable on the defense, and yet again, this time not a save, but a great dive. Showing the full platter of defensive metas, whether it's goalkeeping, dive ability, whatever the case is. They're putting on definitely a clinic. But Everest back in the defensive end now. They're up by the 2 points still. Yogzi in the goal. A pass up high to Mosh. But Mosh unable to lead the pass quite enough. But Leonardo might not make it matter, but don't it matter. It's Yogzi. What a save. I don't know. It always floors me. And I know I continue to beat some of these dead horses, but it floors me, the goalkeeping ability we see. But at the same time, the tenacity that we're seeing from these players, it's just, when the shots go in, again and again, or the shot attempts that is, one of them will usually sink, right? Because as impressed as I always am, and as elite as goalkeepers always are, especially in Europe, it's so hard to save, twice in a row, right? 3 times in a row. Offenses are just too good. So I always part of me always feels bad for goalies when I see them get a great save followed by an immediate grab back or a failed clear and then another take for the offense. It's always tough because it's like, oh yeah, well done. I'm sorry that didn't really matter, but well done. Mosh making his score, and that will put them up now with a couple points in a row, 4-2 for Hyperion. And yeah, as chat pointing out there, JG, on what I was kind of touching on before, where you can basically add a 10 times difficulty multiplier to Challenger Cups and to Finals. So even the basics get a lot more difficult, purely because of pressure, endurance, and mental game. That said, a duck meeting them halfway, though. Mosh with a mash. The monster mash, I suppose. All October themed is Mosh, seeing if they can get back into the trap or the Mosh pit, as the case may be. Always a favorite, though, as it will be Yogzi with a pass over to Martin III. Martin III with a beautiful one down below to Steffo, and it was a 3-on-1 effectively at the goal. Diver coming out, but no one able to address on the defense, and it's tied for Everest. Wonderfully done. That was... Although the passes, they didn't have like a ton of heat behind them up the floor, they didn't need to put a ton of heat behind it. That's another one of the tricks of the trade sometimes, is knowing that sometimes you don't have to throw those 100-mile-per-hour passes or 100-mile-per-hour shots, or I guess 9 meters as the case may be off the balance, but nonetheless, talk about quick reaction time, 7 seconds, leaving me no time to even analyze on the between goal period, I suppose. And that's fine with me. Fast pace is fun pace, as much as anything. So, fantastic hit as a quick launch, but results in a turnover. So another attempt here coming in. That will be back-to-back goals off the joust. 8 seconds expended that time. And that is suddenly where it was 4-4. Not like a minute ago, not even. Well, now you got yourself a 5-point advantage for Hyperion. So how quickly things can change. But that said, another fast launch. Bad Elmo, quick pass. There's Martin III, finding a bouncer softly to Bad Elmo. One more cut, perfectly done. That's how you execute some offense on your rollouts. Never stop moving. Now, of course, that makes the passes harder. But that is something that was key to that play, right? You kept the defense on their toes the entire way up the floor. There was never a point where the defense was actually allowed to stop and set up or breathe, right? It was just constant disc movement and off disc movement by the players, more importantly. So they are really able to weave around. You know, sometimes if you get... While the stall game is great for resetting when you need to, it's also... The whole purpose of stall games anyway is to open up numbers inside the goal, right? So if you're on a joust and you're working it up the floor offensively, and you already have the defense outside of the goal, multiple players outside of the goal, well, you've already achieved the purpose of what a stall would do, right? So you don't need to stall in that situation. You just keep moving, keep pressing, recognizing, okay, well, the defense is not where they need to be. They're not set up. We are in good position to score against a numbers opportunity inside that goal. And what's going on here? What's going on here, Cinna? Mosh? Fair play. Yeah, it's all those little factors that matter in Master Division and in these type of cups. It's not only knowing how to execute certain metas, whether it's double stack, whether it's man v man, whether it's stall, whatever it is. It's not only knowing what to execute, it's also knowing when to execute those type of things. And why you're executing those type of things, right? Anyway, you know, words and stuff. That said, we're still in the first round here. This is, again, a lower brackets match. Both of these teams having dropped one match already, so this is their final stand. So you absolutely know that they're going to put everything on the table here today. And so far they have, absolutely. Now Hyperion, they're going to launch out there. Taking it over is Smart Raz, has to contest a couple of stack players in the middle. Meanwhile, though, a pretty nice rollout, but that was great coverage. Still yet, they'll get the disc back here. A tough pass. Leonardo being assaulted and was unable to find the teammate, although got their own rebound. So another pass there, trying to weave it to Cinna at the barrier. Still another rebound. Cinna now from the clock, and Cinna gets it in. Cinna in? It's 11-6, spicing up the lives of Hyperion. Alpha Wolf saying, Pally doing it all, what a machine. Oh, happy to do it. Yeah, I'm alone on the cast for Channel 3 here. If only because we have so many casters who are playing in finals this weekend. So, you know, in prior seasons we've been able to get all the finals matches and such more often than not. But yeah, with this one, as a shot just misses, we have so many great casters who are also great players. So it's a nice luxury to have in that sense. We have the most knowledgeable players in the game casting for us, but they are busy playing this weekend, so we will manage as best we can on the personnel side, and fortunately, it looks like we will be able to cast every single match still yet, so don't you worry. Solo or otherwise, we got it done. That said, Cinna, not the Cinnabon, but a quick turnover. Another one to Martin III. Martin over to Yogsy. They're falling behind by a little bit in this first round, so they should look to score here to prevent any more momentum going against them. Will be Martin III recovery, soft pass over to Bad Elmo, and a delivery into the goal, but rejected, saying return to sender, Smart Raz, and once again, this time from Mosh. The defense from Hyperion continuing to pay off over and over as a goal going under and right through the mitts on a technical goal. That's something that can definitely hurt a mentality, but end of the day, it is points. Going the way, once more, of Hyperion. What's it like seeing how the game has advanced over time, Alpha asks. I'll get to that in a second, actually. Good question, though. That said, Martin III here with a pass over to the bow, and a nice duck from Steffo. It's going to open up. Oh, the bold attempt. I don't blame it, though. You know, an Anchor 3, but considering only a minute 30 left, I don't entirely blame it, because at this point, you know, they need maximum amount of points fairly quickly in succession. So, recognizing the clock situation for Everest and recognizing the open goal situation, not able to capitalize was Leonardo. About a minute 10 left. So same kind of thing. They need really quick threes at this point, back to back to back. But if nothing else, just execute well and save up for the next round. So back to Steffo, and as will be another possession for Everest, trying to dribble it down the floor, but everyone kind of getting split up on their stacks over on one side. Meanwhile, that secondary coming through. And hey, it's a shot from Yogzi to bring it to 8 points for Everest. But indeed, time is just not going to be there, it seems. Like again, barring literal instant three-pointers, will be out of the mix. So with that, I guess I'll take a second to answer the question. What's it like seeing on the game, on the meta being advanced in this game and such? You know, it's kind of a mix. I would say the fundamentals largely stay the same. That's kind of the nice thing about Echo, right? And about sports in general, is the basis of the game is so fundamentally simple. Even though how it's mechanically executed, that's where the differences come into play. Like every game of Echo is drastically different, even though the fundamentals stay exactly the same. So what I will say is the fundamentals are as they are, but the game has sped up infinitely, it feels like. And I can attest, you know, recently, I guess for those who don't know, like I am returning to competitive play over in NEPA for their Pro Series that will be starting in the off-season of VRML. And so with that, I've been like putting in a hardcore grind in some high-level private matches and stuff like that, right? And that's the most immediately obvious thing, is for as fast as teams look on stream already, and believe me, they do look fast, being in the first person and experiencing that level of speed and just the quick pace of the 4-player meta, 4 versus 4, it's a new beast in itself. You know, that was the biggest thing that I think takes adjustment, is just catching up and being able to catch your breath and have the game in your head slow down again, right? Because when there's so much chaos on the floor with 4v4, you just see that players have so little time to react. They have to be so precise with every single execution and every single communication that comes through on the private comms. Because you miss one call out, your teammate's dead, you know? And your goal is scored against, and you're feeling all kinds of bad. But yeah, I mean, that's basically my answer. I don't know if that was a great answer or not, really. But oh, my score's messed up again. I'm sorry. I'm having some apparently minor spark issues. I apologize for that. I'll fix that for you once again. Seems to not be wanting to pick up my actual game scores here today. So apologies. I'll take care of that right now. 1 second, please. And first shot, well, if you please. All right, that's 2 points for Hyperion. Getting it to go. It's Cinna on that one. All right, back into the match. Again, apologies. Yeah, one-man show, so I'm liable for a few tech issues here and there. Bear with me. That said, here it's going to be taken by, well, I thought Cinna, but actually mishandled the catch. Still will catch up to the midfielders and stun out a few times. Cinna winning both of those brawls effectively. So no harm done. At least not for their team. We'll be back to Hyperion on this approach. Leonardo will make that exit strategy to the cloud before they approach again. Another missed catch, though. So we've seen a couple of these unforced errors, I suppose, for Hyperion on these passing attempts. Just fortunately for them, they have not been punished for it quite yet. Back into the trap will be recovered by Cinna. Cinna on a deep fling, nearly good, but off to the top right a little bit as they recover for Hyperion. Smart Raz over to Cinna. Cinna with a duck and tried to stick the landing on a pocket shot up top. We're not able to do so, but they did get the rebound. So Cinna working it around, trying to juke just a little bit, throwing out the fakes and handing it off to Leonardo. But Leo being stunned, and a clear into the midfield as a result. Now, one of the familiar things I'm noticing here, maybe a little rush clear there actually from Hyperion, is despite some of these mistakes that Hyperion is making just in terms of mechanics, like fundamentally they're fine, but mechanic-wise, it doesn't really matter because they are undoing it over and over with the rebounds, right? They are well positioned and they're fast enough to catch up to that disc wherever it happens to land. So that's really been their saving grace, but unable to actually capitalize in terms of some points in that last possession. And it will result in a shot opportunity with a goal perhaps there. There's 3 in it though, so a tough shot to take, and Mosh making the most out of that for a save. What a play defensively to bring it back to the orange side of the floor. So up here, Smart Raz and Bad Elmo contesting. The 1v2 inside the goal, as Leonardo doing their best to contest this one. But sails into that trap, into the wedge, and up high, picked off now. Cinna with a work up the floor. They have a shoulder pass, they have the cutting from the post, the cutter from the post, and it will be a shot finally made. 2 minutes and 24 seconds off the clock. And off of, no doubt, maybe, I don't know, 6, 7 shot attempts, maybe even more. They had a lot of drives, but they were just able to keep themselves afloat, purely based off the rebounds and the stack recoveries. So very well done. You know, not everything is always going to be aesthetically pleasing and smooth flowing when it comes to how your rounds go. That is the nature of the sport. So sometimes when the game gets a little bit tense or gets a little bit ugly in terms of, you know, the plays that are developing, sometimes ugly is good. You know what? You got to win those fights one way or the other, and Hyperion doing just that. Everest well aware of the fact here that they do need to start finding those points soon, though, because they have been stuck extending to that last round as well. They have not been able to score all too much in the last 10 minutes or so. Now with that, great play there, Leonardo. That was a fully confident hit. Didn't waste any time to line up the shot. All instinct, and Hyperion to the distinct advantage. 7 points. Everest have less than 6 minutes to keep their season alive, or else Hyperion will advance in the lower brackets, and Everest will be ending their season here. So it is right down to gut check time. Here to Bad Elmo. Bad Elmo with a back pass, nicely done to Steffo. Bad Elmo now, another one to Steffo. Oh my goodness, a save again! That was phenomenally executed offense. I love the push up the floor from Everest, and yet undoing all of that was Steffo, and undoing all of that was Hyperion. They are currently putting on that hyper play, and they are up by 10. Get hyped, stay hyped, all that good stuff. I mean, I don't even know what to say in terms of analysis, because Everest was able to execute that last offensive play very well. Their passes were picture perfect. They weren't rushed. They weren't panicked whatsoever. But those goalkeepers, when they make those one-on-one head-on saves, it will absolutely destroy every single good thing you did in the 10, 15 seconds prior, unfortunately, for that offensive team. So props to the goalkeeping, as Hyperion, they are keeping ahead of the game and ahead on this lead. As a fling, will it be? My goodness, Smart Raz! What a shot! Was that a frisbee fling? It almost looked like it. 13 points, the Bakers dozen fittingly so, because they are baking hot, they are frying, they are deep fried, all of the words. Point is, they are putting on the heat. Hyperion is in great position to sweep this match. I don't know what got into them, what they had between the rounds, maybe, had some mid-round beef jerky like I used to do. They are absolutely flaming hot. That is ridiculous. Another possession coming in for Hyperion. And Cinna being stunned by Martin and then Yogsy there. So really, desperation mode has been activated, I think, for Everest, who played so well versus Smash Dash despite the loss, and who played very well against Hyperion, especially in that first round, but just not able to find their foothold in round 2. Now, a save from Bad Elmo might help make a case, as they do make the chase. And oh my gosh, again! Smart Raz, another recovery, but here it is, Bad Elmo finding it. See, I don't even know what to say at the moment because Everest is not executing poorly whatsoever on a lot of these plays. They're playing appropriately aggressive defense oftentimes. They've gotten some good shot opportunities, but they've just been denied over and over. So even when they do execute their offense the way they wanted to, they're still not getting the scores, at least not on those first tries. So it is very tough. Hyperion is feeling locked in both offensively and defensively now, despite an initial slower start to round 2. They're up to 16 points. So 16-2, Hyperion is absolutely paving the way for this late run. And they're going to have to do it again and again in that lower bracket. Jinx saying, I pre-ordered your player card? Is that... pre-ordered... Is that a thing? Can you pre-order player cards? Well, nonetheless, down the floor it goes. Everest, and oh, couldn't get the 3, 7 meters in, but that said, it will score at least. And Yogsy putting in some points. Once more, it's all about playing towards that buzzer. I know this is a mighty deep hole that they found themselves in, but it's still a matter of pride for these players too, right? To still finish out strong, whether it means advancing into the next round or whether it means ending your season. Still being able to finish strong is something to admire and something that these master teams pride themselves on, right? With that, another play, attempting for a cross pass, but it looked like Martin was going for the brawl on the goalkeeper as opposed to the catch. So maybe a light miscommunication there, but they will still maintain some semblance of control for at least a second. And back into the mix, back into the trap. Yogsy with a takeback. Handing it over to Steffo once more. The passes have been on point, but so have the goalkeepers. Smart Raz with another save. Diving out and kind of saving it on the way. So, stellar goalkeeping at play to match this absolutely lit up offense we're seeing. Go down the floor once more. Yogsy with a juke. Pass up to that shoulder. Anchor pass. Smart Raz! The intelligence, the speed, the instincts, whatever you want to call it. The IQ is through the roof. And their points are through the roof. Their saves are, well, not through the goal, certainly, but right outside of it. And they are on another level. Leonardo with a take, and that is a 2-point on a stunned goalkeeper. 18-4. Everything that they could be doing right now for Hyperion, they are doing. Offense, defense, passing, comms. You name it, they've done it. I mean, this bodes very well, I think, for Hyperion continuing into the lower brackets because, I mean, I guess it depends how long they're going to have to wait between their next match and such. That may be a factor as usual in these kind of wars that we experience in finals and CCs, but I don't know. They are looking unstoppable, absolutely. Here it goes again. They're going to push it up maybe to 20 points in the next second and dinging it home. Sinna. 20 points. What a mark to hit. And with that, that will be, well, the end of the round, end of the game in a sweep. Congratulations to Hyperion for one of the more impressive, cohesive efforts I think you'll see across the round in terms of both the defense and the offense. You know, it was a slow first few minutes, but the rest of the way through, I mean, they were just perfection, it seemed like. They could not be stopped. For Everest, unfortunately for them, that will mean the end of their season. Here in Season 4, after some valiantly fought games, again, such a close series against Smash Dash, very competitive first round against Hyperion. But the rest of the way through, you know, just could not quite muster what they needed to continue on in the lower brackets. And with that, that will end their season, unfortunately. But again, just shout-outs to them and all their players. Longtime players as they are, hoping to see them all again once more in future seasons. Because as long as they're playing, they're still going to be at those highest tiers of Echo as far as I'm concerned. So congrats, though, to both teams. And Hyperion, they're going to advance to face off against, let's see here. Against Baby Phantoms, it would seem, in the lower bracket. So it's continuing mighty quickly. Won't stick around here too long on my end of the floor. But Yeah, very, very strong match for them. We'll see if they can go into the next one just as hot. I will pull up the brackets for you guys just for a quick second to see what's going on. And as you see, it's Team Gravity and Jesters over in the upper brackets, that round 3 of brackets. Phantoms versus Aj as well. Both those matches, I believe, are going to be on venues, one after the other. And in fact, one of them I'm likely playing right now, or just finishing, either way. So we'll continue on in the lower brackets, though, it would seem. So gonna bring it to a quick intermission, although before I do, let me just check out real quick, out of curiosity. Wanted to see. Yeah, 8 saves. I had to check how many saves that Smart had, as well as Mosh. I mean, 6 as well. They were absolutely stunning in that round. But all right, with that said, again, well done to both teams. I'm gonna take a quick intermission here. We'll be back with your next match before you know it. Rest assured. So do stay tuned, and we'll be back.